Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially call this meeting to order. I would ask for everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer and/or reflection as we think about everyone who's been affected by the COVID-19. We are aware that the numbers are trending up across the country, and also the Cashinova family of New Milford. Artie Cashinova passed away suddenly. He was a longtime volunteer and a former borough employee. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the mayor and council of the borough of New Milford have caused this notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the borough hall, and notices have been sent to the record in the Ridgewood News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard the infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning, seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. Being that we are holding this meeting virtually, I have a few other things I have to read. All participants are muted during the meeting. Anyone wishing to make a comment or ask a question can do so at such time as the meeting is open to the public. For comments during the public hearing on any ordinances, by hitting the button to raise your hand or by typing a message in the chat box. You will need to state your name and address for the record. Members of the public may also submit written comments for any future remote meetings by either email to cdemiras@newmilfordborough.com or a written letter to the borough clerk. Written comments must be received by 4 p.m. on the day of the remote meeting in order to be read into the record during the meeting. Members of the public commenting during a remote meeting shall not act in any manner to disrupt the meeting. If anyone becomes disruptive during the meeting, they will be muted. If time permits, the disruptive individual shall be allowed to speak after all other members of the public are provided an opportunity to comment. Any continued disruption may result in the member being prevented from speaking during the remainder of this meeting. Disruptive conduct includes, but is not limited to, shouting, interruption, and the use of profanity. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Siraki-Hawley.
Present.
Councilman Seymour.
Present.
Councilwoman Duffy. On the present. Council President Krotsky.
Here.
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Present.
Councilwoman Grant.
Here.
Mayor Kuchina.
Here. Okay, under unfinished business, may I get a motion for the approval of the minutes from the October 14th, 2020 closed and work session meetings?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have an ordinance up for adoption. It's 2020:15. And when the clerk is ready, I would ask her to read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Traffic, thereby amending subsection 7-3.4 entitled Parking Prohibited During Certain Hours on Certain Streets.
This ordinance essentially will prohibit parking on the west side of Prospect from Maine to Cleveland from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday evenings. May I get a motion to open up to the public for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if you have any comments about this ordinance, 2020:15, now is your opportunity to address the mayor and council.
We have 2 members of the public attending right now, and as of right now, nobody has raised their hand.
Okay. May I get a motion to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to approve this ordinance on its final reading?
Motion.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Strachey Hurley,
Yes.
Councilman Seymour,
Yes.
Councilwoman Duffy, you're on mute, so if you could unmute.
Yes.
Thank you. Council President Grotzky,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sandhusen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to new business. And the first item under that is the best practices inventory administrator.
Yes. So every year we have to complete our best practice inventory. This is a requirement from the state that came about probably 6 or 7 years ago at this point. This year, the inventory consisted of 60 questions that were in 3 different scoring categories: core competencies, best practices, and unscored survey. We needed to receive a minimum score of 16 on the inventory to receive our full amount of aid, and we scored 23 out of 24.5 points. So we will receive our full amount of aid. The core competencies address statutory and regulatory compliance obligations and other areas that are critical to sound municipal finance and operations. The best practices category involves fiscal and operational practices that are significant benefit, but are not foundational in nature or uniformly applicable to all municipalities. So yeah, there were a total of 29 scored questions. And it's a requirement of the best practices inventory that the chief finance officer, which is our CFO, Diana, and the chief administrative officer, which is myself as the administrator, we must both certify the inventory through their online platform, and the municipal clerk has to certify that the inventory and the results were or will be discussed at a public meeting, and the results and the certification of the same by the chief administrative and finance officers must be referenced in the meeting minutes. So that is my report on this year's best practices, and I'm happy to put that to bed for the year.
Thank you, Christine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy that we scored very well on it. Anyone have any questions about item number 1? Okay, item number 2 is schedule updates. So the New Milford Second Annual Domestic Violence Symposium is scheduled for Wednesday, October 28th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. This will be a virtual event. The Regional Community COVID-19 Test Site.
Excuse me. Isn't it Thursday
Go
the
ahead.
28th? No,
No,
Wednesday the 28th? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday, the 29th is the Regional Community COVID Mobile Test Site.
Okay.
That will be from 9 to 2:30 p.m. in the old ShopRite parking lot. And that is a weather permitting event. If it's severe weather, I'm sure they will notify us that they will be postponing it. If that happens, we will put it on the website. We will put it on the Office of the Mayor Facebook page just to let people know, and we'll put a sign out or something so people know. The Milford Trick or Treat Trail will take place on Saturday, October 31st. It will be from 1 to 3 p.m. It will take place on Chiquino Drive. The entrance will be on Madison, the intersection of Madison and River Road. So you'll go like you're going past the Brain Freeze drive-through, kind of like you're going towards the New Milford High School football field, and then you'll be directed towards Chiquino Drive. The general election is Tuesday, November 3rd. Voting machines are available for people with certified disabilities. All other voting will be provisional paper ballots at the polling place. Everyone should receive information in the mail from the county notifying of your polling location. Anyone who did not receive an actual ballot in the mail should contact the office of the county clerk. The New Milford paper shredding event will take place on Saturday, November 7th. It will be from 9 to 1 p.m. in the swim club parking lot. Please note that any containers containing paper will not be returned. And this is a rain or shine event. New Milford's annual Veterans Day ceremony will take place on Wednesday, November 11th. It'll be at 11 o'clock a.m. on the Borough Hall front lawn. That will also be a rain or shine event. The annual Alcohol and Drug Awareness Memorial is tentatively scheduled for Sunday, November 15th. More details will follow. The borough's annual interfaith ceremony is going to be determined. I will be having a meeting with Father David at Ascension, and we'll be discussing the details of that. And the annual holiday tree lighting is tentatively scheduled for Sunday, December 6th. More details will follow. I think I covered all of the events in the fourth quarter.
May I add one thing? It's not actually an event, but you mentioned Election Day. I learned today that if anyone has not received a ballot in the mail, they can get a duplicate one at the county from 9:30 to 4, Monday to Friday, or on Saturday from 9 to 1.
Okay, that's good to know.
They do want you to call in advance if possible, or you can email them in advance. And I have that information. It's posted on the website. Because this way they'll have it ready when you get there. But you can still go directly even if you didn't do it in advance.
And we are going to send out another reverse 911 reminder about Election Day.
Oh, yes, one other event, the Art Center of Northern New Jersey, also on Halloween, is going to be having an art giveaway for kids up to about the age of 8 or about 10, I suppose, at the swim club from 12:30 to 3:30. So you can have two exciting events on Halloween. You can do the trunk or treat and the Art Center giveaway at the swim club.
Nice.
Well, it's not a trunk or treat, though.
Whatever.
No, it's a trail.
Trail, trunk,
Trick or
and
treat
trail.
trail.
No
trail.
trunks.
I'm
Say that
sorry.
3 times fast.
Too much alliteration.
Yeah. That's part of the fun.
A tongue twister.
Let's move on to
Yes.
number 3 is the administrator's report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The COVID-19 task force met on Thursday, October 22nd, with reports from the police department, fire department, OEM, health department, the administration, the DPW, recreation, and the Board of Ed. Some of the topics discussed included the opening of schools for in-person instruction, Nightmare at the Farm, the mobile test site that will be taking place in New Milford on 10/29, the holiday giving tree and the fire department holiday toy drive, Election Day, and some upcoming events, including those that were just reviewed by the mayor. Second on my report, I met with the CFO and the auditor last week to discuss some guidance that we've received from the state on how to manage revenue shortfalls that are due to COVID-19. There was legislation enacted by the state to allow for the municipality to apply for a special emergency to offset the operating deficits, which is then going to be budgeted over the next 5 years. The auditor is anticipating approximately $200,000 in revenue shortfalls for 2020, and he is recommending that we apply for the special emergency to offset the shortfall. He is planning to attend our meeting on the 9th to review that information with the mayor and council, and I believe we'll have a resolution on that agenda to authorize the special emergency. In addition, the legislation also authorizes the use of a 3-year average to anticipate revenues for 2021. And this is helpful because normally the way we draft our budget, you can only anticipate the amount of revenue that you realized in the prior year in your upcoming budget, which would present some significant shortfall in our budget if we were to do it that way. So they're going to use the 3-year average. I received notice today from the state that the deadline to file the 2019 senior freeze property tax application has been extended from November 2nd to 12/31/20. And questions from the public can be directed to the property tax hotline at 1-800-882-6597. I also wanted to report that we are preparing an ordinance for the Knightsfield development that will be on our 11/9 agenda for introduction. The ordinance amount is going to be $960,000, of which $825,000 is in hand for the borough. The balance is going to be bonded, and that was on the recommendation of the auditor on how it would be best to proceed for that particular project. The only other thing that I have is that we're back on track with our schedule and we'll be meeting in 2 weeks on November 9th. That's it for me.
Thank you, Chris. Does anyone have any questions for the administrator? Okay, I would ask for a motion to file council committee reports with the borough clerk
So moved.
to be spread in full upon.
Sorry.
Got excited.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, resolutions. Resolutions 2020:227 through 2020:234. Are there any resolutions that need to be pulled out for further discussion? Okay. I would ask for a motion to open up to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen of the public, we are now open. You could take this opportunity to ask us any question or issue regarding the Borough of New Milford. And according to Robert's rules, you will have 5 minutes to speak.
Oh.
Okay, I see that there are 4 members of the public in attendance, none of which have indicated that they wish to speak at this time, Mayor.
Motion to close
May I
to the
get-
public.
The closed public.
So moved. Or
Second.
second, or
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we'll go around the table real quick. Councilwoman Duffy.
Good evening, everyone. I filed a fabulous council report with the administrator, so tune in. Also looking forward to the events on Saturday. I think it's just shows how even during this difficult time, we are across the board providing for our residents to gather in a safe and joyful way. So good luck to everybody on that day. That's really it for now.
Thank you, Randy.
You got it.
Councilwoman Grant.
I shared a few things earlier, and that's about it for today. Thank you.
Council President Grotzky.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report at this time.
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Thank you, Mayor. My report is related to the Green Team. So they are on track for their deadline for submission for the fleet assessment grant application. So they're submitting to the Garnier Energy Grant, and that application for submission is due at the end of this week on October 30th. And I just want to commend everyone and thank the members of the mayor and council for their support, because the Green Team has achieved in about 2 months' time what the grant was released about 4 or 5 months ago announcement. So this has been a really great effort on everyone's part to bring some good work and energy conservation to New Milford. So thank you very much. And I'm complete.
That's good news. Councilwoman Siraki Hurley.
Thank you, Mayor. Pretty much, you've listed the events, you spoke about the events we're going to have. Looking forward to Saturday. Hope that a lot of our kids come out to it. You can make fun of some people that are going to be in costume. We'll see how we're going to do with that. Also, just to let you know that I think I had mentioned a couple of months ago, maybe in September, that the Historic Commission was going to apply that D2 solution over the tombstones, of which they did last Sunday, I believe it was, with some great success. We will be going back. They will be going back and doing it again. So that's really about it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Thea. Councilman Seymour.
I just want to thank all of you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, fellow members of council, for your support for this domestic violence initiative this Wednesday night. None of this would be possible without all of your support. Special thanks to Councilwoman Sandhusen, who has been an absolute rock and partner in this initiative and helping with the technical side, which has been certainly a unique challenge that we're facing. Thank you, Councilwoman. I could not overcome these obstacles without your guidance and your help. And I just want to inform those viewing, inform the public. Obviously, the purpose of this event is to provide as much information as possible, not just to survivors of domestic violence, but if you know someone who's in an abusive relationship, if you're a friend or relative of somebody who's suffering domestic violence, this event is also for you. If you're an offender, a domestic violence offender, we also hope that you tune in and hopefully get some access to some information pertaining to resources that may help you as well. This is a reminder, but the event will be live streamed. The link will be provided on the New Milford Borough website. And in addition to the live stream link, there will be an email address that will be on the website where anybody can email us questions or comments if they wish to interact with the panel. That's how we're going to make this event as interactive as possible, while at the same time preserving confidentiality and anonymity. So we hope you tune in. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Seymour. Okay. May I get a motion to approve resolutions 2020:227 through 2020:234?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into closed session. No action will be taken during the closed session. So we are going to end it here for the public. Once I get a motion to move to closed session.
So moved.
Moved. Second.
I just would
All
add
in
that
favor?
we're going to adjourn immediately following.
Yes, yes. No action will be taken in the closed session, and we will adjourn immediately following the opening of the closed session. I believe we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and hope to see you at the events, the upcoming events in the Milford.
See you everyone Saturday in costume.
Don't forget to send back your vote mail ballot.